The second element of fascism that the Trump administration exemplifies is being anti-liberal democracy. Clearly, he tried to steal the 2020 election by finding how many thousand of votes in Georgia, and then literally had his supporters try to overthrow the government on January 6th and undermine the democratic process of America, and then continually say this election was a fraud, this election was a fraud, this election was a fraud, to get conservatives to lose faith in American democracy, even though there was less evidence that 2020 election was a fraud than there is for the 2024 election. He even joked the other day about, oh, maybe we should start a war so there doesn't have to be a 2028 election, so I can just stay in power. Right. To me, it feels like he's going through and intentionally checking the boxes of events that happened on the way to Nazi Germany and the Holocaust so that people see these things and the alarm bells start ringing. We all freak out, we revolt, and then he can declare martial law and he never has to let go of the presidency. I think that's clearly what's happening. And this isn't just a Trump thing, but you've got conservatives who have been trying to rig elections and make voting more difficult for decades now. Gerrymandering is overwhelmingly a Republican thing. It's Republicans, like in Texas, who have to change the districts so that they can win elections. They have to make voting more difficult by not giving you water bottles when you're standing in line, by taking away mail-in voting, by saying that our elections are not safe. Democracy and democratic elections, we can override those and just maintain power as long as we want. So it would not surprise me at all if it came out that Trump had rigged the 2024 election. More specifically, anti-liberal democracy, right? Where liberal democracy is individual rights, see them deporting undocumented immigrants while foregoing their constitutional right to due process, and rejecting the idea of equality. Being anti-DEI is a form of fascism. They reject the idea that there are any systemic disadvantages to any groups in America, because if they were to address that, that would bring non-white Christian men to the same level as white Christian men. And that's equality. They're not against it because they care about qualifications. They're against it because it leads to equality. And fascist regimes are typically anti-equality. Involved in this anti-liberal democracy is also suppression of dissent. You've got a Democratic representative in the state of Texas right now who's been held against her will for going on 36 hours, last I checked? You've got things like Donald Trump refusing to take part in debates against Kamala Harris when he got his ass whooped on the first one. And clearly, look at his cabinet. He eliminated qualified individuals to replace them with unqualified conspiracy theorists who are loyal to him, because loyalty is more important than qualification. And a part of eliminating dissent is by redefining terrorism, which is just violence by an individual that goes against the state or the will of the state, right? Burning a Tesla is terrorism, whereas before it was vandalism. Speaking out for Palestinian liberation is pro-Hamas and pro-terrorism, whereas before it was just expressing your constitutional right to freedom of speech. Trump has made it very clear that Palestine is a surrogate for eliminating dissent. It was people who attended pro-Palestine rallies. It was calling every pro-Palestinian liberation rally pro-Hamas, pro-terrorism, using framework that the Biden administration laid down to say anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. Then Trump can pass an executive order that says we need to crack down on anti-Semitism. And so if you speak out against Israel and are anti-Zionist, you are now anti-Semitic, and I can crack down on you and deport you and detain you without due process. So yeah, I would venture to say that Trump is anti-liberal democracy as well.